Happy New Year, YouTube. This is Vengeful Shadows here, and we're going to make a quick video about a couple cards here that I think are going to be really good moving into the new year. We are pre-ban list right now, okay? Post-New Year, pre-ban list. It's always an exciting time for Yu-Gi-Oh! About this time. And again, I want to make a quick video to show you the top 10 cards I think that are going to be seen going into the new year and throughout the new year of 2022, as well as a few honorable mentions at the very end, okay, of like certain cards or decks that I will believe will be played in the side deck as the year progresses, okay? So, without further ado, let's jump right in. And the number one card I think that people need to be equipped with going into 2022 is Evenly Matched, okay? And a lot of people are not unfamiliar with Evenly. It's a very big board breaker, and it's a great go second card. And I feel like once we move into the year and see the branded deck drop, cards such as Evenly are going to be seeing a bunch of play, especially after side decking, okay? And I think it's going to be important for me to mention a lot of the cards in here on this list are going to be due to the Albaz drop, or the Fallen branded deck that we're going to be seeing kind of being played. It definitely got shown over in the TCG or over in the OCG, and a lot of people can kind of look over at the OCG and see what's going to happen here. Our formats are different, our ban lists are different, but not too different. And like I said, number one card going in, I think that people need to be having is Evenly Matched, okay? Now, that being said, we have a few selections for Evenlys here, okay? From secret rares to ultra rares, and they're about $20 to $30, okay? And then the OGs are about like 60s right now for first editions, okay? But I'm not going to go over all the prices. We're mainly here to see about card playability moving into 2022, okay? And like I said, Evenly is number one on my list. Number two is the Triple Tactics Talent, and this card was huge when it came out. Again, a super good going second card, sometimes a going third card, but a lot of decks play it for going second, which is very important. If your opponent activates a monster effect during your main phase, you get to choose one of the three effects to resolve, which is either drawing two, taking control of an opponent's monster till the end phase, or you look at their hand to choose a card and shuffle it into their deck, okay? So no matter what, you're getting some pretty good resource out of this. A lot of people use the draw too because they need to generate more resources because something got negated. Taking control of an opponent's monster is super strong, especially in the mirror match with the frog deck coming up. So they negate something with a toad, you take their Bahamut shark, or you're going to take their Utopia, you're going to take a toad, you're going to take something from them. If they got a shark, you can make a lot of plays with that, okay? As well as looking at your opponent's hand and being able to take out another hand trap, take out a card that they have their follow-up play. There are a lot of options with Triple Tactics Talent. It just got a reprint, so prices did just drop. And again, I'm not trying to emphasize like price here, so whether it be high or low, I'm just going to note it, but no opinions on it, okay? So right now, these are what we're looking at. We got the Ultra and the Secret, okay? And these dropped a little bit from what they were. If your budget, definitely go with the Ultras because they're going to be worth it coming up here, okay? I think that's going to be the number two card to be having right now is Triple Tactics Talent moving into 2022, okay? Third on the list, Crossout Designator. This card was extremely popular when it was first announced and played over in the OCG. We waited, I think it was like over a year plus to get it over here in the TCG, and we finally got it. Pre-sales of this card were insane. I think they're like $120+ or something. Now they're sitting at about, if I'm correct, $33. Crossout Designator is that super good like side deck card or even main deck when you know you're going to be playing against like the same deck that you are playing yourself, or they're going to be playing the same hand traps or techs that you are playing. It's a quick play card. You declare one card name, banish one of that declared card from your main deck, and if you do, you negate its effects, as well as the activated effects and effects on the field of the cards with the same original name until the end of the turn, okay? And then obviously it's a hard once per turn. So if they interchangeable because it's quick play. So if they effect failure, you can hit an effect failure out of your deck to negate the effect failure, okay? So Crossout Designator was not seen a lot of play in the TCG. There's actually a lot of variety in the meta after this card came out, with everyone kind of teching Tri Brigade and teching this, and then Lyric coming into the meta and everything, however you pronounce the deck. But so Crossout Designator did not see a bunch of play, but I think moving into 2022, it's going to be seeing a lot of play, as well as some price increases. We'll take a gander. Like I said, they're sitting about $30, $33. You'll see some 35s, but there's some like 30 to 33s on the page before, just unrated sellers, okay? So Crossout Designator, huge card, and I think the gains and the availability of this card are going to very drastically decrease in availability as the year goes on, and the price will increase. So get your hands on it now. Number 4, we got Dimension Shifter. This card came out probably, I think it was like 2-3 years ago. Still has only one printing right now. Super amazing hand trap. People kind of were sleeping on it when it first came out because of the fact you have to have no cards in your graveyard as the condition to activate it, and a lot of decks will have cards in their grave. They normally start with it, and then basically, if you have no cards in your graveyard, it's a quick effect. You can send this card from your hand to the graveyard until the end of this turn. Any card sent to the graveyard is banished instead, okay? So once you shift her, you can't shift her again because there's a card in your graveyard. So I think that was kind of why people didn't pick him up immediately, and people are now figuring out that he himself is actually a pretty good card overall. So they're kind of like dipping their toes in the water, testing it out. And I think Shifter will be super good against the branded deck, being able to side it in and being able to turn one, like when they go turn 1 against you, you pitch Dimension Shifter, and now everything is banished. So a lot of their grave effects don't go off. They can't hit cards out of their grave to banish them to fusion summon into the extenders. So overall, Dimension Shifter, I think going into 2022 is going to be huge. He already has seen some gains in his prices, but like I said, we have the one printing right here, and you can pick them up for about $7. Okay, so if you don't have Dimension Shifters, I think they are definitely due for a reprint. Okay, like that is definitely going to happen. It might even be a common out of a starter deck. Who knows? They might slip it into the branded build, but we have no idea. We just have one right now, and I think no matter how you get them, just trade them, buy them, do whatever, but go ahead and pick up some Dimension Shifters now, okay? Now, number 5, Antispell Fragrance. I think once Imperial Order, in my opinion, which is going to get banned, gets banned, Antispell Fragrance is going to see an increase in playability. People have seen the effectiveness of locking the opponents out of their spell cards turn 1, and how even just stopping their draw cards, stopping their fusion cards is like really strong. Being able to make them set them in a game where you can probably blow them out of the water or kill their sets even on the opponent's turn. Very strong. So I think Antispell Fragrance is going to be seeing a lot of play and a lot of side deck once Imperial goes out, and kind of already has been. People have been picking up on it. They're seeing the signs and they're going for it. And we got a lot of variety of Antispell Fragrances here, okay, guys? So if you don't need the bling ones, you got a lot of commons, a lot of even like low-end value ultras that you can still even have hollows in your deck if that's what you want, okay? Antispell Fragrance, definitely consider picking these up if you don't have them. And if you do, then you know it's time, okay? Number 6, and kind of on the same route as Antispell, is Dimensional Barrier. People want Scythe banned, and Scythe, Artifact Scythe, is when it's special summoned from the graveyard during the opponent's turn, or special summoned during the opponent's turn. It ends up blocking your opponents from social summoning from the extra deck, okay? So a lot of people have been commenting that with Destroy Phoenix Enforcer, essentially shutting the opponents out of summoning from the extra deck. All right. Since I think that is actually going to get banned, it's a very strong play, and it's very doable, and it's very searchable, given the link. Even the artifact link itself searches it, and then Sanctum will search out Scythe as well, and special it to the board. There's just a bunch of ways to bring out Scythe. It's super consistent. It's going to get banned, okay? Dimensional Barrier is going to follow up. Declare one monster card type, Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, Exceed, or Pendulum. For the rest of the turn, neither player can special summon monsters of the declared type. Also negate the effects of all monsters of that type while they're on the field, okay? And it's a hard once per turn, so essentially he's going to block, this card will block them out of the extra deck, as well as negating monster effects on the field of that type. So I think that's very strong. You can trap trick it face down. There's a lot of ways to get this to the board, and it locks the opponent out of the extra deck, except for links, which is also very notable to keep in mind, okay? But definitely think Dimensional Barrier is going to be a card to be picking up right now if you don't have them. There's a bunch of variety, low-end ultras to, like, you know, semi, like, pricier secrets, but I wouldn't worry about that one if you're a budget player. Once again, you have a lot of options even for hollows, okay? Number 7, Albion the Branded Dragon, and I think a lot of people understand why, and I said a lot of this is going to be based off of that new deck we're getting, and the Fallen Abaz deck is coming out, the Branded Fusion's coming out, so the Branded Dragon is going to be huge. Everyone's fusing into him using the Light Hex Sealed or a variety of other light monsters, so then when Branded hits the field, he can self-banish, or he can banish the targets that he were used to make him out of the grave to make other things. The big one is like Red Eyes Dark Dragoon right now, as well as a few other things. You can go Kliga, you can go into a variety of monsters that just kind of shut your opponent out of playing or further extend into a lot of plays you can do. Okay, so Albion is definitely something to pick up. It did see a price increase already on the sites, as you can see here. It was like a $6-7 card. Now we're almost up to 20s, but like that's what it's saying. You're seeing some for 16s right here. I think it could go up even farther, but that's neither here nor there. Definitely try to equip yourself with them right now if you want to play the deck, because this should be out of rotations, like in safety of not being reprinted because of the way they reprint cards and the time allotted. Okay, so now number 8, big one I like to mention a lot, Super Polymerization. Okay, guys, and this card is going to be huge moving into the new format, moving into 2022. Super Poly is going to be everything, okay, especially with everyone bringing out a bunch of fusions, bringing out a bunch of targets, and I think a lot of people are going to be playing the Fallen Albaz build, or at least cards that tech into it. So Super Polymerization is going to be a huge card to side, because no matter what, it's probably going to be just a free card for you, okay? You're going to pitch a card, use off the opponent's board that they just made into something that you want on your opponent's turn half the time, or it's a great starter. They can't activate anything in response to Super Polymerization, and if you watched any of my Market Watch videos or anything like that, you know that Super Poly is something I'm a huge fan of, especially the Ultimate Rare. But again, even if you're a budget player, we have a bunch selection here, all very, very, very cheap. Okay, so definitely pick yourself up 3 Super Polymerizations if you don't have them. They're going to be huge going into 2022. I shouldn't even have it as number 8. It should be higher up in the list. As you can tell, I'm very excited about the card and in love with it. Okay, now, number 9 on the list is Magician's Soul. When this card came out, I feel like it had like a little lag. People waited a second, then they started playing it, then they were like, whoa, this card's insane, okay? It's an extender, it lets you draw 2. This is like the best extender ever. Like, let's just be very honest, like, this thing is insane, okay? It was like $120 or something for the Ultras. Legendary Duelist cards were insane, and then they finally ended up reprinting them, okay? So I think it's important to see that Magician's Soul's got that reprint, and that it might not be played right now, but when it gets played, we're going to see them just go up, and they're going to be hard to get again, okay? So if you do not have 3 Magician Souls, do not worry about whichever, like, version you get. Whatever you can acquire. And, like, I like the secrets. I grabbed those. A lot of people are going to go for the Ultras, but, yeah, like, definitely pick this up. That goes back to the other video for Secret Rare Conspiracy, but don't worry about that. We got this on list number 9, Magician Souls. Grab those today, okay? For number 10 on the list, and book's weird, I have to do 99 or else 10 puts it into spot. Number 10 on our list today is Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Okay. The reason I have this on number 10 is the card is insanely expensive, okay? And Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, when it first came out, it was kind of cheaper, then it just kept going up. COVID happened, everything was crazy, you know. So this card was nuts, is nuts. Destroy Phoenix Enforcer kind of came into the format. Red Eyes Dark Dragoon went out, but I think, again, as Fallen Abaz and the entire deck kind of comes into the format here at the TCG, you're going to see Dark Dragoon going up. Now, the reason I mention it as the last one on the list is because I'm afraid, like the ban list is coming out, and sometimes TCG will do some weird stuff and ban stuff before it's like super good over here. And this has had its time. It's just got a Starlight reprint. So I really do worry about it. It's either going to get hit or it's going to get reprinted again coming up here, okay? Because it's going to need another reprint, and they're not, like it's pretty much hard to find those tins anyways. So I think this card, like, it's something I feel like you need moving forward, but I'm very hesitant to tell people who don't have it to just go out and spend $100 on it, because they're very expensive right now, okay? Very, very expensive right now. So it's almost like, get the Starlight. But no, I think this will get like a secret print coming out here soon. We're going to see something about that, okay? So that is my top 10 right there on cards I definitely believe you need to be picking up or should have equipped before 2022. And I do want to go into some notable mentions here as well. Okay, just real fast, because some of them have gotten reprints, some of them not so much. We got Infinite Impermanence, just got that nice common reprint, super good card, okay? And like, once again, I just want to go over these. I think some of these are like hot right now, are going to be moving out, or things that like have had reprints and are out of the meta right now, are kind of, will just be neat to have for splashable side decks, okay? Just a little list here, and that's Impermanence, just got that common print. We got Chalice, there's a bunch of commons, and, you know, gold rare of that. It's kind of a good alternative to Droplets, which is just insanely expensive right now. And I just feel like Droplets, it's super big, but it's been moving its way out of the format, okay? And I feel like when things like Super Poly get like a little bit more popular, when all fusions come in, things like Droplets are just gonna be like not as optimal, okay? Then we got the entire like Dogmatica and a Deer Servant core. I feel like if you don't have this stuff, you need to kind of go out and grab it right now. Some of it could potentially get a reprint in the Albaz like deck, because they're kind of the same nature or in the same lore, but I'm not a big believer that will happen. Definitely feel like people have been sleeping on Ghost Reaper Winter Cherries, but it's been seeing a little fluctuation on the main one, so I'm a big advocate of that, as well as No Material. Shared Ride and Mistake have been kind of like nice. Like, Drone Lock is just insane, but I feel like eventually people are going to understand Shared Ride is like essentially a mistake or a maxi against certain decks, while Mistake is going to be like the new Imperial Order for certain builds. I would definitely pick up Kaiju Core, no matter what, even Waterfront, okay? Like, Kaiju's insane. The entire package, if there can be only one, goes into Rivalry. Each one, like, plays their own role, and as we see in Kraken Control, or whatever that water build is, being able to lock your opponent is just huge right now. And last, well, not last, but then we got Duelist Alliance, because that Pendulum deck, we're going to be seeing Pendulums going up, so definitely feel like Duelist Alliance is a card to pick up if you're interested in Pendulums. And last but not least, we got the Predaplant right here, the Trioverantum. But yeah, the big old fusion that you're going to be super polying into off of your opponent's board, okay? So these are all cards definitely worth attempting to pick up, but the top 10, again, if you don't have these, definitely have these going into 2022 as we see branded start picking up speed. All right, so guys, thank you so much. If you as always enjoy what you see, we got the Twitter, all right, we got that Twitch, and as always, thank you guys so much, and have yourself a wonderful start to the new year, and stay safe, okay?